Tom Hardy teases the future of Mad Max at the Critics Association event this week. Witness him, George Miller! Next on Screen Junkies News. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all shining in chrome. I'm Erica Ishii, and I'm here with Aaron Robinson from Clever.
What, you guys? I missed you all so much.
Thanks for visiting us. What have you been up to?
Well, you know, I'm still in the building. I'm still here, so I see you in the hallways.
Like the office over there.
Way
right
over
there.
I know. Actually, so I moved over predominantly to Clever News and Clever TV and Clever Style. I'm shooting a big show. It's a beauty show. It's called Beauty Trippin'. And actually, guys and girls could get in on this, where we travel and do some of the craziest beauty treatments you can imagine. And so I'm doing that with Clever Style. We're launching a season 2 right now, and it's bigger and better than it was in season 1, which is hard to do, but we've managed to do it. Yeah, and I do a lot of stuff on Clever TV, Clever News. If you guys ever are interested in anything outside of movie news, you're welcome to come visit me over on Clever News too.
That's awesome.
I know.
Well, thanks so much for making time. You're like super busy.
I am. But you know what? Anything for Mad Max.
Oh my God.
One of my favorite films of, when was that? What year are we in? 2015?
Oh
16?
My God.
When was it? Yeah.
It totally was.
I know.
Oh, how time does fly. But so Tom Hardy was at the TCA press tour this week for his new film, or for his new show on FX Taboo, and they asked him about Mad Max, and he told Collider, I'm anxiously waiting to find out. There's mythology to do with Mad Max that spans copious amounts of tales. What's wonderful about George Miller is that he's created sagas for Max and sagas for Furiosa. So it's what he chooses to focus in on. I'm really just waiting for the call. Like, all right, let's get the leathers on and get back out there and do some more. It's there. I'm just waiting for it and looking forward to it. He's just waiting. Tom Hardy's just waiting at the phone.
I love that word, copious stories that they could tell. Yeah, I actually interviewed Charlize last year and asked her about this film and whether she would want to do it as well. And she seemed to have a similar sentiment. She said, you know, I would love to. I'd love to play Furiosa again. I'm just kind of waiting to see if there's a story that I can do it with George Miller. So I think they both are just waiting, because they've had those 2 roles were so incredible in this film. Really, I mean, it won 6 Oscars, something that none of us saw coming. And so I think that all of them would jump at a chance to do another one.
Absolutely. And as far as we know, Tom Hardy's signed on for 3.
Yeah, that was one thing that we did learn today about that quote that we didn't really know before. So, but sometimes those movies never pan out.
Oh, don't say that.
I know.
Oh, it's gotta work out.
But we have to be realistic, though, because this film was supposed to have started in 2003. It took it pretty much 7 to 10 years before we actually even knew it was happening and then saw it on the big screen. So George Miller likes to take his time, and I think that that's important. So I don't want them to rush it as much as I want to see a prequel or a sequel of Furiosa or whoever. I don't want it to be rushed, because this film was so solid. Although I did tell you earlier that the storyline of this film wasn't my favorite. The visuals made up for it, though. But I would be curious to see a film that is rooted more in story and dialogue, because I really want to get to know these characters better.
You know, I think that the world building was what really stood out about this piece.
Yeah.
I think that even though the story was very simple, I really appreciated that. And I feel like it said so very much with so little. They didn't have to spell everything out for you. They just drop you in on this world and kind of build it out with tiny details and character quirks from there. And that was what was so incredibly elegant to me about it. Plus, I mean, it's a feminist film. I know some people might get mad at me for saying that, but it really is. And it's beautiful.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of sad this isn't Charlize Theron talking about how it's in the works. It's going to happen, hopefully. I'm like, Tom Hardy, great. I mean, I love Tom Hardy. Do not get me wrong. He is a talented guy, but he kind of mumbled a lot in this film, and I just thought Furiosa was more of a dynamic character to me, and she's the one that I really want to see. So I'm going to get excited when I hear Charlize say a quote like this.
Yeah, you know, I think it's at the point where she drops to her knees and starts screaming that you realize that it is not Mad Max's story, it is Furiosa's.
Yeah.
But what I would be interested in seeing in a sequel is his adventures going from place to place. He can meet other really interesting dynamic characters and be sort of that linchpin of the audience surrogate where he's dropped into these worlds and we find things out through his eyes.
Yeah, that would be great. Honestly, I'm not a storyteller, so I'm horrible at pitching ideas for what I want stories to be, but I do hope that whatever George Miller does, that he continues to do the non-CGI, the practical effects, because for me, that was the most groundbreaking. It told a story without a script, and that's why I want another film. I do want to know more about Furiosa, but the visuals, that's what I want in a prequel or a sequel, whatever that is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thank you for talking with me. I just love talking about Mad Max, so thank you for that.
We could go on forever.
Oh. Well, what would you like to see from a Mad Max sequel? I know you have ideas. I know I do. Please let us know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe and check out our other videos over here.